Good day. My name is Sarabjit and I'm from Taylor's University, Malaysia. And today I'll be presenting my abstract titled, Does Exclusion in Chatbot Encounter Affect Consumers' Intention to Adopt Chatbots? Begin by a short introduction. The use of chatbot is seen as a means of digitizing the service encounters, and the use of digital technologies have affected the way a firm structures and carries out a business with its consumers. This is so because it needs to create value not only for its customers but also for the firm itself and also its partners. According to the founder and CEO of Yellow AI, one of the leading providers of artificial intelligence-based text and voice chatbots to companies around the world, AI is actually being considered and deployed by almost 90% of consumer-facing firms. Thus, a short background, the adoption of chatbots has been fueled not only by the growth in technology, obviously, but also in recent times due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which has increased consumers' online interactions with companies ranging from product or service inquiries to post-purchase support such as returns and deliveries. The adoption is not only limited to consumer-facing companies but also by government and non-governmental agencies. Thus, the following problem statements are presented. Past research indicated that conversational agents such as chatbots should be human-like to create a sense of social presence, because when this is not present in the interaction, consumers will experience social exclusion. The sense of exclusion will be especially compounded or increased when the encounter is of a relational type, as indicated in past studies that found when consumers were excluded from a company's preferential treatment and exclusive promotion. Therefore, a lack of human-like relational encounter with chatbots may generally lead consumers to experience a sense of exclusion. In addition, research has also evidenced that consumer chatbot interactions reduce consumers' intention to adopt the chatbot when errors remain unresolved, especially for a transaction type interaction, which suggests that the outcomes can affect future intentions for chatbot adoption. The increasing deployment of chatbots thus necessitates an understanding in the literature of how the chatbot encounter types and its outcomes affect consumers' intention to adopt the chatbot. It is also important to understand if consumers experience exclusion in these encounters and how it can consequently affect their intention to adopt the chatbot. These will also allow companies to better manage their encounter. Thus, the following research questions are presented. How does the type and outcomes of chatbot encounter affect consumers' intention to adopt the chatbots? Do consumers perceive exclusion in these encounters? And if yes, how does the perceived exclusion affect the relationship between type and outcomes on intention to adopt the chatbots? It is hoped through the research that the following research objectives will be achieved. Firstly, to understand consumer service experience with chatbots and how the outcome affect their intention to adopt and their consequent behaviors towards the service provider, and also the role of social exclusion in chatbot encounter type and outcomes on their intentions. This research will take on a quasi-experimental design, whereby two types of encounter, relational or transactional, against two types of outcomes, which could be either resolved or unresolved between subject design. A scenario-based online survey questionnaire is proposed. The sampling would be non-probability based on convenience, and individuals who have encountered chatbot interactions would be the population sampled. It is hoped that this study will contribute from a theoretical perspective in terms of extending the literature on consumer behavior for chatbot adoption and how social exclusion affects the adoption of consumers for chatbot. And from a managerial perspective, managers would be able to better manage the chatbot implementation to increase consumers' intention to adopt in the future. That ends my presentation. Thank you for your attention.